Most men think power is loud. They think money, muscles, and a big mouth are enough. But the man that actually gets in her head barely needs to speak. He masters one thing most guys ignore: emotional control. She pulls away. He doesn't chase. She provokes. He doesn't flinch. She tests. And he stays calm, unshaken, unreadable, because he's not here to prove his worth. And you have to do the same. Not because you're playing a game, but because your emotions don't belong to her. They belong to you. And that is what makes her obsessed. This isn't about being cold. It's about being in control. You don't fight for her attention. You make her fight for your respect. You don't explain yourself. You let your silence speak. In this video, I'll give you 6 Machiavellian truths emotionally intelligent men use to reverse the power dynamic, create obsession, and trigger deep female respect without ever raising their voice. Each truth will show you exactly how to shift from a man who gets tested to a man who gets chased. Stay until the end, because once you see how this works, you'll never play the game the same way again, and she'll never look at you the same again either. Let's begin. First, you must understand this. A woman never stops evolving. And if you want to keep her obsessed, you must study her like a language that keeps changing. The average man thinks he already knows his woman. He assumes she's the same person she was 3 months ago. He stops observing. He stops asking. He stops paying attention. That's when she disconnects. But the emotionally intelligent man knows something crucial. A woman is not static. She's evolving, daily, emotionally, hormonally, psychologically. And the man who doesn't evolve his understanding of her loses her. Machiavelli would say, "Power lies not in what you control, but in what you can predict." And to predict a woman, you must observe her deeply, again and again. Let's bring it back to something practical. Imagine she used to laugh at your jokes. Now she barely reacts. Most men would feel offended, insecure, maybe even angry. But an emotionally intelligent man reframes it. Instead of thinking, "What's wrong with her?" he asks, "What has shifted in her reality that I haven't noticed yet?" Here's a real-life example. You're with your girl at dinner. She seems quiet. A reactive man will push, "What's wrong with you? Why are you being weird?" That triggers her defenses. She shuts down more. But a smart man notices her eyes, her tone, her energy, and instead of forcing a moment, he says, "You feel different tonight. I'll give you space to breathe, but I'm here when you're ready." That one sentence shows presence, power, awareness, and non-neediness. It makes her feel seen, without pressure. Here's the move. Never assume she is the same woman every week. Learn her. Update your knowledge of her patterns. And do it not from insecurity, but from mastery. That's how obsession begins. Next comes the truth that 99% of men avoid, because it takes strength. When emotions rise, you never flinch. You stay grounded, while most men collapse. Weak men lose control when a woman gets emotional. They yell back, over-explain, get passive-aggressive, or shut down completely. And in doing that, they lose the frame. But the emotionally intelligent man doesn't flinch. Why? Because he knows. The one who controls the emotional tempo controls the entire dynamic. Machiavelli believed that power isn't in domination, it's in composure. The calmest mind wins the war. In a real scenario, she's in your face, accusing you, testing you, crying. A normal man says too much. He panics. He apologizes before understanding anything. But the man in control says less. He pauses, breathes, and with a calm voice, "I want to hear you, but I'm not going to fight you." Just like that, he flips the energy. Because when a man doesn't react emotionally, she feels emotionally exposed. That's where respect starts. Here's your next solution. Practice emotional detachment, not coldness, but restraint. Refuse to be a puppet to her feelings. This doesn't make you robotic. It makes you the anchor in her storm. And nothing builds feminine obsession like emotional security paired with masculine mystery. Here's the third truth, and this one's subtle but deadly. It's not loud. It's not obvious. But it changes everything about how she sees your value. There's an art to retreat, and most men never learn it. They think being consistent means never shifting. They think love is proven by never pulling away. But here's the truth. Even the strongest currency becomes worthless when it's overused. Emotionally intelligent men know when to disappear, strategically, not to punish her, but to preserve their value. Machiavelli believed that absence sharpens respect. And just like gold, the more rare your presence becomes, the more she starts to feel your worth. In practice, if she starts taking you for granted, not replying, acting cold, being entitled, you don't argue. You don't explain. You pull back, not forever, but just long enough to remind her. You are not an unlimited supply. You are not emotionally free. She must re-earn your access. Here's the move most men never learn until it's too late. Think like a currency. You don't flood the market. You control supply, you regulate access, you maintain scarcity. That's how you remain high value, in her heart and in her mind. Now comes a truth she'll never say out loud, but she feels it in her body. The man who guards his energy with calm discipline forces her to earn it. Most men either become tyrants or doormats. They go to extremes. They either try to control everything or they let everything slide. But the emotionally intelligent man does something rarer. He sets limits with grace. He doesn't shout his standards. He embodies them. And when a woman crosses them, he doesn't need to punish. His silence says enough. Machiavelli would say, "A ruler is feared when his boundaries are clear and respected when his justice is consistent." In practice, she starts posting thirst traps again, flirting too much with other men, testing your jealousy. A low-value man complains. A tyrant gets aggressive. But you say this once, calmly. "I'm not here to control you, but I won't compete for attention I don't need." Then you stop rewarding the behavior. You withdraw your attention and let silence do the work. Here's your strategic move. Build noble barriers, not walls to isolate, but gates to filter. Let her feel the cost of disrespect, not through punishment, but through absence. That's the boundary of a high-value man. He teaches her how to love him by what he no longer allows. Now comes the truth that flips the power dynamic. You stop reacting, and suddenly, she's the one adjusting. Words are everywhere, but real power is rare. Most men think they need to say the perfect thing, the right joke, the right compliment, the right reaction. But the emotionally intelligent man knows. Silence sharpens perception. He doesn't rush to speak. He studies her eyes, her body, her tone, her choices, her inconsistencies. And in that silence, he sees everything. This is where his power begins. Because when a woman senses that you're truly watching, not just her body, but her patterns, she begins to feel naked in front of you. Not physically, emotionally. And when a woman feels emotionally seen, she can no longer play games. In real life, she says she doesn't mind that you're busy, but her tone is off. Most men would miss it or ignore it. But the man in control catches it immediately. You say it's fine, but something in your tone tells me it's not. Tell me what you really want. You're calm. You're focused. And suddenly, her manipulation dissolves because you've pierced the surface. Machiavelli taught that power is never in appearances. It's in understanding the reality beneath appearances. That's what emotional intelligence gives you, access to what most men never notice. Here's a great solution. Let silence become your weapon. Speak 20% less. Observe 50% more. And when you finally do speak, she'll actually listen. Because your words won't be noise, they'll be precision. And now comes the final truth that makes your impact permanent. She forgets the loud ones, but never the man who moved in silence and made her feel everything. Most men, when they get hurt or disrespected, disappear. They ghost, they retreat, they vanish. But here's the truth. Disappearing isn't always power. Sometimes it's just avoidance. Emotionally intelligent men do something more powerful, more haunting. They transform in plain sight. They don't beg. They don't explain. They simply change the rules. They stop reacting, stop chasing, stop giving what she used to receive. And the woman feels it instantly. She realizes she's no longer talking to the same man. Imagine this. You used to text her every morning. She stopped appreciating it. So you don't disappear. You evolve. Now you still talk, but your tone is colder. You take longer to reply. You're busy, focused, unavailable. She asks, "Are you mad?" And you say, "Not at all, just refocusing my energy." It's not revenge, it's elevation. She doesn't lose you. She loses the version of you that cared too much. And that version? She'll miss it more than you can imagine. Here's your final weapon. Stop disappearing to create impact. Transform silently. Let her feel the shift, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. Because when she sees you become colder, sharper, less available, she starts chasing the version she took for granted. You've made it to the end, and that already places you apart. Where most men seek comfort, you sought truth. And in doing so, you didn't just learn something, you crossed a threshold. Understand this. Emotional intelligence isn't softness. It's not the language of submission. It's the quiet art of holding the frame while the world shakes around you. It's knowing exactly when to speak and when silence will speak louder. It's leadership through presence, not pressure. Direction through stillness, not noise. You don't need to be louder. You need to be sharper. Not more impressive, just more aligned with the man who's always been waiting inside you. The one who never chased approval. The one who doesn't react to chaos. He channels it. From this moment on, walk differently. See her patterns, but don't get caught in them. Watch her shifts, but don't orbit them. Let her moods rise and fall, while you remain constant, unbothered, aware. You are not here to win her heart like a prize. You are here to shift her experience of reality without even raising your voice. So next time you enter the room, don't smile to be accepted. Don't speak to be heard. Stand as if the air itself adjusts to your stillness. Because the man who doesn't flinch, the man who watches, waits, and moves with purpose, is the man she will feel long after you've gone. Let her test you. Let her doubt you. Let her try to replace you. She won't find another who stays calm like you, but makes her feel this much without saying a word. Now she knows the difference, and so do you. If this opened your eyes and you're serious about becoming the man who's in full control of his life, my book is now available. The Undeniable Man, Built to be Chosen. It's a strategic guide for men who want to attract, lead, and dominate in their love life and beyond. Whether you're single or in a relationship, no fluff, no tricks, just pure, powerful strategy that will set you apart from 99% of men, and that you will actually use every day. The link is in the description. And if this video spoke to you, don't just keep your thoughts in your head. Write a comment, even just a few words. It helps you remember these lessons, and it might help someone else too. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, and share it with someone who, in your eyes, needs it right now. Just trust your instinct. We're all trying to get clearer, more solid inside. So let's build minds that don't break.